Hey, good day, everybody. How you doing? It's your boy, the Deacon. How you guys doing today? It's DeJohn Jernigan coming to you guys. Um, Definitely want to talk with you guys about. Thank you. Well, good day. Welcome to Recruiting One on One with DeJohn Jernigan, Director of Recruiting with California Recruits. Just wanted to get on today with some very important information. I know I have tried to reach out to a ton of my clients that they might know um, that we're on and that we're going to be talking about. Know that where we are, where we are in the recruiting process right now for a lot of student athletes. And I would tell you, I'm recording this. I'm going to send this back out because the information that I have is absolutely amazing for parents who right now are getting Division III NAIA. I want to talk about this today, the options, and then what's the difference between your Division II, Division III NAIA financially and junior college. And I want us to take a really good look at it, a really good look at it that we might be able to share with family members and student athletes so they understand, what this process is about, how this process is going to go, because I'm getting a lot of kids who are, and congratulations to LeBron Jackson, I think Ty Fimple, guys that are getting Division III quote unquote offers, and I say quote unquote because Division IIIs are offering you a roster spot. They do not have athletic money, but it's a roster spot on the football team because all your money is going to come from your academics. But because your money is coming from your academics, it's still a scholarship offer and a roster spot offer. And I want to be able to show the difference to parents so you understand this. And this is something that your financial aid counselor or your counselor, when you're dealing with financial aid or you're talking to a coach, so you have a real understanding of what this actually means from a Division III, a Division II, from an NAIA standpoint. When you don't, when you understand it, because there's a lot of coaches right now, a lot of people saying, well, you should go to junior college. I'm going to go over a lot of the pros and the cons of each. And what has to happen is you have to know who you are, where you are in the recruiting process to better understand what this whole thing is about. If you don't understand where you are, I talk about the 98% and the 2%. There's still a lot of guys out there asking about schools as of right now, as we are in October the 6th. There's a ton of you guys asking about, there's a lot of guys asking about schools like, 1AAs, mid-majors, and what they're doing, and feeling like, hey, I met guys back at camp. They told me they were going to be watching. I sent my 5-game huddle out, and as I sent my 5-game out, they haven't been talking back, or coach said, yeah, he liked my huddle. What does that mean? The first thing I want you guys to get in your spirit and understand and write it down is December 15th. December 15th is early signing day. And so when we talk about the 98%, 2%, the 2% athlete, that's a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star athlete, are going to be guys that they're going to sign December 15th on early signing day. And if you're not one of those guys, or you're not having those conversations with coaches as of right now today, that December 15th is a date that you're going to be talking to these coaches, you probably are not going to, you're probably going to be a February guy or a February through April guy, which means you're probably a NAIA Division III, maybe a D2 guy. And there's some very important things that you need to do. So you want to write that date down. If you don't have an SAT score, you're probably not going to be a December 15th guy, right? You don't have a score in as of yet. If you're not if you're not in the DM having a conversation uh, uh, about trips and about official trips happening in November, you're probably not a December 15th guy, and you're probably not in that mid-major early offer, early signee guy. So what that does is we can manage expectation that that's not where I'm at. If you are talking to NAIA schools as early as right now, then you probably you're probably definitely one of those guys that are going to be a early guy in December, because you're already having those conversations with those schools. So we want to make sure you want to make sure that if you're having those conversations, that's what happens. Division 3 schools, if I get an offer from them, it does not stop. Let me help you understand this. Your recruiting does not stop because you got an offer from a Division 3 school to as a roster spot. An NAIA school may come in and still offer you, and we'll talk about that. Division 2 school may come in and offer you in that. What you really want to do, the next thing, and we're going to share our screen a lot today so we get a better understanding of a couple of things. You want to go on the ncaa.org website so you have a better understanding of dates and who can be recruited at a certain time. I put junior college on here because, and I said this last time, and I don't know if I articulated it in a well enough a manner for you to get. The junior college athlete that graduated in 2020 or 2019, 2020, that was part of the pandemic, did not play. That kid is a little older. Junior college football right now, because of that, those kids didn't get to play. They're older, bigger, stronger. They have this year as a fresh, they got their year back. This is their freshman year. If you are a student athlete that is looking to go into a junior college and you're trying to be a one and done guy, like play junior college and then leave in January to go to a Division 1 school, you need to do your homework and make sure that you're going into a school that you're going to be on the field, you're going to be playing, so you can have film. Because if you don't go to the right school and you go to a school that's loaded with a whole bunch of talent and kids bouncing back, kids coming back for that high school guy, I'm watching it right now at the local JC where I'm at. A lot of kids thought, well, I'm going to just go to JC and leave in a year. It's not that easy. It doesn't happen that way. I will say again, especially for quarterbacks, they're going to take an older guy that they can win with right now. If you're better, hey, good. Find the right school. That takes research. That takes making sure you're having the right conversations, right? And so you want to make sure that that's something that you do. So I would tell you that that is very important from the junior college perspective, that if you don't want to go NAIA, if you don't want to go D3. So let me jump to Division 2. You got to understand, and we'll do it on the screen. You have to understand the Division 2 mindset. And in the Division 2 mindset, the Division 2 schools, I'm going to tell you right now, most of your Division 2 schools are going to go junior college. They're going to get bounce backs. They're going to take guys that are bouncing back. They're going to take guys that are bouncing back from JC into bouncing back from Division 1s and other schools into your Division 2. So a lot of people go, oh, well, I know he can go D2. The high school student athlete is up against not only the other high school athletes, then the portal guys and the JC guys and all of the bounce back. So you have to understand, this is why the college level sports right now at the football level is getting tougher and tougher, and it's getting better and better. It's getting better and better on the NAIA level. From a money standpoint, you're going to get better money most of the time from an NAIA school, because you're going to be able to connect an academic portion of your money, as well as an athletic portion of your money that the Division III school cannot add an academic part, an athletic part. So a lot of people overlooking it and saying, oh, well, they don't give athletic scholarships and there's a whole lot of money that's left over. I'm going to go over two websites, two schools, and I'm going to show you exactly what that's going to look like. For a lot of you parents right now, as we go into October, you should be looking and talking to some people in financial aid. If you know a financial aid advisor, somebody working, please do your best to learn what unsubsidized and subsidized loans are. What does that mean for your student athlete? Because whether they go Division II, III, or NAIA, those are things that you need to know and understand that's going to happen, what's going to happen for you. You got to understand what EFC is, your estimated family contribution to college. If it's zero, great. You're going to get a lot. You're going to get all the free money that you may be able to get from a Pell Grant, whether in-state or out-of-state, if you're looking to go to school somewhere else. But make sure people can articulate this to you so you understand the best package that you're going to get for your student athlete, okay? On the 1AA level, as far as football goes, guys are telling me, and I'm telling you, I'm talking to college coaches every day, all the time, that guys are going to get, take coaches and schools are going to take guys out of the portal. They're looking for bounce backs. Some of you, and I want to say this for the quarterback skill position guys. I'm telling you right now, if you are shunning any Division III NAIA type schools, you're putting yourself as a disservice. If you think you're just going to go and jump and play JC ball and you're going to just go play, it doesn't happen that way. I'll use Bakersfield College for an example. Team is loaded. Okay, they're loaded. They're loaded with the guys that didn't get to play last year because of the pandemic, and then they have a bunch of bounce backs. My son being one, Jalen, Blizzard, a kid that came from Wyoming. So there were wide receivers that thought, hey, when they didn't see these guys, they were going to play. When you get two bounce backs from the Mountain West at your junior college that's been in school for a year or two, and they already have an idea of what college football is about, the speed of the game, versus two high school guys. Those two high school guys won't play. So that high school guy that thought he was going to go and only play 1 year, now it looks like 2 years and him getting an AA before he can get out. Well, this high school guy shunned at NAIA school, played very little that first year because he played behind two bounce backs, came back the next year, played a little bit more, but didn't play as well. Quarterback wasn't really good or whatever it may be, got a little bit of film, and he's in the same position he was in as if he was in when he was coming out of high school. So he's got NAIA schools and some smaller schools, maybe a D2 on them, but he's got to kind of figure it out. And those schools, let's say from California, they're in Minnesota and New York and in Kansas or wherever they may be. So you have to do your homework and say, okay, where am I at right now? What is the reason why I'm trying to wait for something else? Okay. Definitely want to talk a little bit about where guys are measurable size. You guys understand, I talk about this with my service all the time. They're weighing measurables. Measurables are the number one thing that coaches are looking at. If you are a 6-foot linebacker and you're old school, Brian Urlacher, you're downhill, Ray Lewis, and you can't cover, or you're not a guy that they feel that can cover, but you're a pounder, you're a tackler, you're a guy that that you're coming in and you just, rough old school backer. You're probably looking at a 1AA at best or D2 or NAIA type school. Most of your schools in your Mountain West Pac-12, they're going to go 6'1.5", 6'2" or better. They're going to be guys that can tackle in the box, but they're going to be also guys that can cover. And one of the reasons why we want to make sure that you understand this is because it helps you with your in the recruiting process. It helps with the fact that if you don't understand, hey, why is this school not recruiting? Why is this happening? Well, would you give somebody that every third down, I got to pull that kid off the field? Every third down, I got to pull him off the field because he's not a cover guy. So I got another nickel that I got to pull in the game. So that linebacker is probably only going to play 35, 40% of the game. And guess what? I'm not going to give him 100% of a scholarship. So you got to find everything is about finding the right fit, the right level. And guys, if I can say it more times enough, there's NFL guys going to NFL from everywhere all over the country. Percentage wise, yeah, more are going to come from your Division 1A, your Power 5, and your other schools. But at the end of the day, if you're that guy and that's your lot in life, it's going to happen. Okay. So we got to be able to be realistic. I tell you this all the time. Do not stop shunning small schools. If you have an offer from a Division 3 school, NAIA school, you don't know where it's at, but you won't post it, you're doing yourself a disservice. Why? Because everybody wants somebody that somebody else wants. So if you're on there going, oh, I don't want to post that, I don't want to put that up, I don't want to put that up because that doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, no, yes, it does. It does a lot for you. It lets another coach know that somebody else likes this kid, and maybe I need to look at who this kid is. Post it. Posting is marketing you. It's marketing who you are. I'm glad guys are posting the Whittier and the D3 stuff, right? I'm glad you're posting, but if you post Fredonia College in New York, you're going to post something way out, Kobe State or whatever it is. So what? Nobody else knows. They know. And we go where they like us. That's our number one rule. Where you like us, that's where we're going to go. What's going to be the best fit? Who's talking to me right now? Who's answering my calls in the DM? Some of the kids, some of you guys, some of you parents want what you're not getting to happen. And we're in October and it's not going to happen. So that means you have to be going after the right schools. There's no need to be going and spending time at games of schools that are not going to recruit you at this point if you're in the class of 2022. If you're a class of 2022, you need to be sitting down with somebody going, okay, this is where we are. NAIA schools have money. So let's with that being said, let's kind of go. I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to take you to a Division 3 school, and they have a actual deal on their website that will help you understand what the money would look like for you at the Division 3 level. Because remember, Division 3 does not give any athletic scholarship. They only give academic money, right? So if you are a 3.0 or better, 3.5 or better, 4.0, you're going to be able to get a nice amount of money. I looked at the Whittier deal because I have a few clients that are looking at Whittier. And I'm saying, well, if you can go to Whittier, you probably can go to George Fox. Why am I saying that? I don't know. Maybe because of EFC, and maybe because there's a certain amount of money they might not be able to get at one school, you can get at another. You have to do your homework. So when we look at, let me share my screen with you, and we'll go over a little bit of this stuff here really quick. Okay, just have you kind of look at this deal. Okay, if we look at George Fox. Okay, this is George Fox University. Let me move this out of the way a little bit. And we go into academics. And we go in, we look at the majors. It may be under admissions. Beautiful school. Okay. So we look at tuition financial aid. And we look at tuition financial aid 101, and they give you a total breakdown of the school and what happens. So the average debt after graduation, this ought to tell you, this is what this is telling you as parents. When kids leave George Fox, they still owe about $22,000 of school. Okay, the national average is about $37,000, so close to 40. So here's what it is. This is a straightforward explanation what you will pay and what you will get. What does it cost for a high school student? It says upfront and all these different costs. So we're going to do a freshman student estimated cost to attend. All right. So it gives you a couple of different things here, and it tells you the average merit scholarships that there's given for freshman students that are coming into the school. Okay. The sticker price, let me go back here and sit here for just a second. for this particular program, all right, is about $51,000. Okay, $51,000 is what this school is costing to go to, right? And it's going to ask you some very, it's going to ask some very strategic questions about students and where they are in the process. Okay, so I'll definitely let you guys see that. Okay, so tuition 12 to 18 credits is about $37,840. Room and board about $12,700, and then their standard fees about $680. About $51,220 is what they say average. The average financial aid package for a student is about $30,000, right? And so they break it down like this. So if you're a 4.0 or better, this would be a great video to talk to your kids about, and use this video to talk to your kids about academics. So if you look at 3.0 to 3.2, your kid out the gate at this particular school is going to get 12 to 14,000 in money, merit scholarship money they do not pay back. Write that down. You do not pay that back. You go up to 4.0, that student is going to get 18,000 to 20,000 of merit scholarship, and I think they're using this at the 4.0 place, right? So here is more of a detailed breakdown of what that looks like. I'm going to go into it. We're going to do it. So we're going to show you how this actually works. So they have a freshman student estimated cost to attend. So if you say your student athlete is a 4.0 student athlete, does not live in Oregon, and has done the FAFSA, and your estimated family contribution, that's what your EFC is, meaning how much money can you put into it? Most people are looking to go, I don't have any to put into it, okay? Here's the results of what it looks like for your student athlete to go to a Division III school, and I'm just using this, but this is pretty standard in the industry, okay? So the total cost of school is about $51,000. They get $20,000 in merit scholarships they don't pay back. They get another $11,783 in need-based grants. That's money you do not pay back. Then you would take out a subsidized loan at its max at $3,500, and then an unsubsidized loan at $2,000, and that would give you $5,500. And then you get federal work study award, which you don't pay back, which is $3,500. Then what is left over is $10,437. That would be your bill for school. This other money is all money, and there's three of those that you don't pay back: the merit scholarship, the need-based grants, and the other. There's a grant. Scholarships and grants are what you do not pay back, or that award from federal work study. What is left over is the $10,437, and you times that times 4, because you're going to be there 4 years, then $40,000 when you finish school. And they said 22 is the average debt after graduation. This is where it's at, and that's all dependent on what you get in here. This is a 4.0 student, okay? So if we went back up here and we changed a couple of things, right? Let's go that low end. Let's say you got a 3.0 guy, and they don't live in Oregon, and their estimated family contribution is that they got to put $5,000 into it because they make a little too much money. Then they only get $14,000 in a merit scholarship because of the GPA. Need-based grants, they only get 10, and everything else is the same. But where they lost money was in the GPA and in the need-based grants because of it. So this is where you have to be able to tell your kid, the higher the GPA, if you're looking at going to a Division III or NAIA school, is the same thing. You're gonna get more money for the higher GPA, right? So even if I go back here and I go 4.5 GPA, and I'd still go estimated, at 0, it's still the same, right? So 4.0 becomes the threshold. Now, if you don't get certain amount of financial aid, that's what this EFC is. If you are somebody that makes too much money and they're telling you and you're not going to get financial aid and 12,000 is yours and your student athlete or your student has a 4.0, right? You can see the difference in it right there. You make too much money, so there's no need based. You still got the merit at 20 because of the 4.0, but because they want you to put this other money in here, this 12,000, that's because you make too much money. So that's when people go, hey, I make too much money. If I were you and I have a college student athlete that's about to go to college, I'd go start talking to my tax person before I fill out the FAFSA and find out where I can show that I don't make as much money. And right now, because of a pandemic year, you probably want to go back and go, hey, I didn't make money last year, and make sure your taxes is done the right way so you can show that you didn't, because you want this number right here as low as possible to zero, because as soon as you do that, you get 20 and you get almost $12,000 in free money to for yourself for school. So that's how that's how a Division III school was going to work in that process. That's how it's going to work for you. That's how I would tell you need to actually really be looking at it. Ty said, give you the formula for a 2.5. It just doesn't, Ty, man, you want to cause a problem. With the 2.5, I don't even think it works on here. Yeah, a 2.5. Yeah, it's yeah, 2.5. It's gonna be tough to even get admitted into the school. That's why they start at 3.0. Okay, so they don't even go under the 2.5. The lower, so that's where it's gonna be really, really tough for a student athlete. So what I want to show you is what a NAIA school looks like, because you're gonna have, it's gonna be a little bit different, because what you're gonna add in there in all of what you have is the actual football money, because at the NAIA level, you will have football that's going to be able to and so when talking to me, and let me share my screen again, I'm always pushing, if you can go D3, why not go NAIA? Because you're going to get more money for your family, because if you're at a 3.0 or anything like that, you're gonna have a better opportunity to get more money for your family, because football is going to give you some of that money, right? So yes, I applied. How old am I? I'm 18, whatever it may be, right? I continue. Are you married? No. No children. Boom. How many in your household? Let's say there's 5. What number of family members? How many will you be in college? Let's say you're the first. That happens a lot. What is your household income after taxes? Let's make you make less than 30, or let's just say 30 to 40. Let's continue. Boom. This is your household income. Here's the continue step. Estimated, same thing. It costs $41,000 to go to Bethel College. Estimated tuition and fees are about $29,000, room and board at 8, $700 for books and supplies, and then estimated other expenses, personal expenses, transportation. So they're saying that's where it's at, about 41. Estimated total in grants is about 23,000. Estimated net price after grants and scholarships, and this is all based upon GPA, and that is going to be about 17. So if we take that number, $41,398, right? Now, what they don't have on this one is a GPA tracker. So I can tell you from working with this particular school, kids that have a 3.2, 3.4, or 5 or better, they're gonna get more money than that from the school based upon GPA, right? So of that 23, or that 17, let's just say they got the max of $23,936, right? They got that max. And if we took that number, parents, this recruiting thing is about, it's no different than accounting. It's all about numbers. You take that number and you take that and you minus that $41,398 minus 23 $936. You minus that, it comes out to 17. It comes out to that 17. That's that number that they're talking about. So estimated total in grant is that 1746. So you talk to football. Here's the difference with that $17,462. Football can then come over and tell you, we're going to give you, and I've asked the coach, what's your average? Anywhere from 10 to 15. It depends on who you are as an athlete. He walks over and says, Coach, I'm going to give a kid $15,000 a year from football. 2, 6, 4, 2. There's only $462 left, unlike the other school where there was $10,000 left. So if you take that same number, $2,462, and you times it times 4 years, 8, 24, 18, then that student athlete, 2462 times 4 years, 8, 24, 18, 8, 9. After 4 years, instead of owing $40,000, they have a $9,848 that's left over after 4 years of college. If my wife's debt was $4,000, I'd be $9,848. I'd be so happy right now because that money right there. And so in there is unsubsidized and subsidized loan. It said this includes both merit, need-based grants, scholarships, aid from federal, state, and local grants, government. So I can tell you right now, there's no out-of-state tuition with a school like Bethel. So when you're looking at a NAIA school, you want to be looking at it from the money standpoint versus a Division III. What's going to be different is that they give money for sports. NAIA is going to give you money for sports, okay? When you're looking at it from a junior college perspective, are you going to play your very first year? Are you going to play? Are you a qualifier out of high school? Did you qualify? Cool. Did you have great relationships with schools and they just told you right now we just don't have the scholarship to give you. We really like you. Will you walk on? No, I'm gonna go to JC. Okay, after you go to JC, if you and we still have that need, we're gonna come and get you. Great. But I better go to JC and play. And I better hope that coach doesn't leave that school and go to another school. So you have to understand this is the whole thing that we do. Our recruiting service, California Recruits, we don't just sit and talk to you about, hey, let's go get schools. We're going to break this down. Next thing I want to break down to you is so you understand, parents, the rosters. If you're not doing this and you were talking about just getting an offer and this, that, and the other, there's more to it so you understand what's going on, okay? Very much so. Stop sharing this screen. Let's go back here and let's deal with this from this standpoint. All right. Okay. So I want to make sure that you have a better understanding, of what's going on in the process of this recruiting. So $9,840 left over. And that's if a guy gave you 15. If a coach gave you 10, if he gave you 12, it's gonna vary. That's more money that you just got in that scholarship. 23,000 with 17 left over, and then football hasn't even put their money into that pot. That's huge. That's huge. Okay. So on the back end, you're not owing $40 to $50 to $60,000. And I can tell you some of the schools I work with, out of all the schools I work with, Bethel College, a lot of these college coaches will tell you, I can't beat what they're doing. So you want to make sure you're doing your homework and in that process of what you're doing. Another thing on the NAIA level that I found, if you're a dual sport athlete, you can get money from both programs. So if you're a track and a football guy, I'll tell you right now, track may turn around and say, hey, football, how much did you give him? Hey, we gave him 8. Why don't you give him 8? Now he's got 16 plus the 23. He don't have anything to pay for school. He's not paying. And he's running track and playing football. These are the things that you get to do on that level and get your degree all at the same time. So you have to understand there's a difference in it. Now, if you have a Division III scholarship and they're not giving any of that athletic money, you can get some great packages. California is just really tough because our schools cost so much money. So if you go to a private Division III school out of the state of California, you probably can get to a private school in a Minnesota, a Kansas, a Midwestern school for $20,000 cheaper than going to a school on the West Coast. That same amount of money that they would give you because you have a 4.0 or 3.8, whatever it may be, then goes a whole lot longer way, but you're away from the family and you're at another school. And so you just need to understand that, okay? The other big side of that is when you go to these NAIA schools and these Division III schools, they're not going to take up, 3-4 square miles of a street. You're going to a school that may have 900 students or 1,200 students. You're going into a smaller college where you're in a classroom with, again, maybe 20 people, 15, 20 people. Learning is different, same. You get your degree, but you're getting it at a pace where you get more one-on-one opportunities to do so. So that's all going to be based upon what you want and how you want, how you learn and what you want to do. I want to go to the NFL. I learned this from my son being at Cal Poly. I learned this from Coach Harrison at Bethel College, who let me know he had just got 2-3 emails from the Chiefs, the Raiders, and somebody else about a tight end. They were going to come there and test them. They also have a NAIA Combine for the NFL in the state of Kansas every year, where guys get ready for that combine from all the schools in that area. So if you're a guy, your dream doesn't have to be over because you don't go to Alabama or USC or whatever. This is your lot. This is what you're going to get. Treat it as so. Be grateful and watch what God will do. That's the part of the preaching I'm going to do for you. It's when we go, oh, I'm not going there, and then you fall into a junior college situation and you really don't understand that there's bounce backs. There's kids 22 years old and you're 18. They're in their man body. You're not getting on the field. I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 with you parents. I'm going to keep it real with you. You're probably not going to get on the field. You may want to go talk to some junior college parents right now who are really frustrated. They had kids that played at a high level in high school, and they just thought it was a fix. They were going to go right into junior college, play 1 year, and they were going to get out. It doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen for everyone like that. Again, those big D linemen, those DBs, those guys that are big, strong, they still have measurables. They were 3-star, 4-star in high school. Something happened in the classroom. They're still recruiting that kid. That's just what happens. And so you have to understand that and manage expectation of your kid. And come December, February, and before April, you will be sitting at your high school doing a signing day. And whether everybody knows about your school or not, guess what? The kids will be excited about. You'll be excited at the fact that you just realized of a $41,000 scholarship, I just got 36,000 of it, and I'm excited. And I talk to parents every day, and that's one of my first questions: what's your goal? And it's, man, I just want to get some scholarship money. I don't have to pay all this money for school. And when they get it, that's what it's about. Things seem to change when the season goes and you start comparing yourself amongst yourselves with other guys. Why is he getting this and that? We played on the same level, and we did when we were 7, and I started over him. My stats look better than him. I want to tell somebody, I was telling somebody the other day, that we had a kid in town in Bakersfield a few years ago, led the nation, led California, I want to say, and was top 2 in the nation in tackles. Walk on at Texas Tech. didn't get a scholarship. Your stats, it still comes down to measurable. It still comes down to, who they like, what they think is going to be a good fit. So you have to do that. With that being said, you have to go in and do roster searches. So I get a lot of people go, well, if he can't go D1, I know he can go D2. Have you stopped and looked at the Division II and looked at the rosters and look at how it goes? So again, I'm going to share my screen with you. I'm going to go into another portion of what of what I do to show you how we look at like even looking at Division II football. It is something called a roster search. You want to make sure you're doing a roster search and looking at the rosters of some of these teams so you can get a better idea. So you can get a better idea of what these rosters are looking like, and then you can see the pattern in how these coaches recruit, right? If you don't do that, then you find yourself looking and going, wait a minute, man, it's not D2, it's not just lower level football because you feel like it's lower level football and a kid can play and he should be able to go there, and that's how it is. So when I'm doing recruiting for Division II schools and I'm looking at schools, there's a couple of things that we do. We got to look at the rosters. We got to look at. So one of the main ones that I work with is the RMAC conference. And the RMAC is the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. And in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, the reason I work in that conference is because there's some schools that are very close by that I work with in this conference, like Colorado School of Mines, New Mexico State Highlands. I think Dixie State came out of this league because now they're Division I AA. But I'm looking at these schools and I want to show you, again, it's Division II football. This is probably one of the best Division II conferences on the West Coast, on the West Coast and the closest to us. Okay. So when we look, at a school. So you look at Colorado School of Mines, definitely better be a close to a 3.8 high academic student athlete. Okay. I'm going to look at Western Colorado for you and just go to their particular website. I want you to look at one of the things that I do to give you an idea of how I'm looking at these schools and what they do and it's called a roster search. And the roster is going to tell you a pattern of how this coaching staff actually recruits. And so what you'll see over here in this level over here in this line is you're going to see where a kid is from and where he came from, either high school or college. And you can kind of get a feel for what those schools are doing. When you're looking at it, you can see whether that school is, that kid is, are they 50% high school and 50% junior college, where they're getting their junior college guys from and where they're getting their high school guys from mainly. Well, this school I know because I lived in Colorado. I did the service in Colorado. Western State is, I want to say it's in Gunnison, Colorado, one of the coldest places in the United States. So you understand there's a couple of things that we want to make sure we have an understanding of. But kid went to Mountain Range High School in Aurora. I know where Mountain Range is. I believe it's in Aurora, Colorado, Westminster, Colorado. Santa Ana High School in Santa Ana, California. They got this kid, a 5'8", 160-pound wide receiver. He's a redshirt sophomore. Then they got a guy, Malik White, Fresno City. That's one JC guy. Another high school guy. So off the bat, 5 high school guys. All 5 of the high school guys are from, or 4 of the high school guys. 3 of the high school guys are from Colorado. 1 is from California. And then you go down the line, another California high school guy. Colorado Spring, this kid transferred from Colorado State at Pueblo. So he got a bounce back guy. Central High School in Fresno. I know Jameson Silva. He played quarterback at Central High School guy. Horizon. So a lot of high school guys that they're recruiting here don't see. Usually when I do this, I can see a whole lot and we'll go somewhere else and we'll see JC guys. Here's another JC guy, a kicker, Fullerton College. Allen Hancock, JC guy. University of Charleston, bounce back. So Western State may be a school that I would look at, because as I look at this and scroll through here, Ventura College, they probably have a large population, as I get down into this, a large population of high school student athletes. They're not a big JC group. So let's go look at their schedule and what their record is. 4-1 on a team that's predominantly not high school, right? If I click on Adams State, and I'm going to look at Adams State and look at theirs as well. I want to see what Adams State, because most of your D2s are going to be big time JC guys, right? So when I go into this junior college roster here for football, let's see what they look like, okay? And you guys can do this, right? High school, high school, high school, high school, right? Hawaii, high school, high school, high school, high school, junior college, high school, high school, high school. A lot of Colorado, a lot of California kids. One thing that I realized, a lot of California kids, right? A lot of Hawaii kids on this team from Adams State. California, SAC, Hawaii, Phoenix, Tampa, Florida. School has a good group of kids coming from everywhere. Great. Adams State. Adams State is a predominantly high school recruiting team. Okay. Let's look at their record. 0-5. Okay. I'm going to go back. 0-5. What does that tell me? Maybe this next year when he starts recruiting, he's going to probably go older, because let's see, is this his first year? I just saw the coaching staff. A couple things that I might do. If I'm a parent, I'm going to click here. I'm going to go to the head guy, and I'm going to read his bio. Coach Harrison. Let's see if Coach Harrison is in his first year or more. Adams State University has removed the interim tag from Coach Harrison, who began in 2021 as the 24th coach. So gives me an idea of why Coach is 0-5. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take my pen and I'm writing Adams State right now. And Adams State is going to be probably one of the first schools that I call in my morning call, because Coach is struggling. And I'm going to call and give him a good mix of JC guys as well as high school guys that I have on my list. This would be a good school, right? Because something's happening with recruiting. Something's happening with the fact that they're not winning. Are they young? I don't know. Go back through here, count some seniors. If I'm going to do this as a player, look at the average size of wide receivers. What number do receivers usually want? Where? Single digit DBs and receivers. If I play that position, I'm going to go. Amir Bernard, he's a sophomore. In Fort Collins, he's a local kid. Fort Carson High School, right? From Fountain, Colorado. Okay, he's a sophomore, 5'10". DB 6'1". 5'9", cornerback is a senior out of Texas. So they're losing a corner. Quarterback, 6'1", Markel Grayson from Las Vegas, Desert Pine. Right? I'm going to click here. I want to see if he's even playing. Right? Graduated from Desert Pines in 2017. He's a senior. He's going to be out of here. Right? Is he playing? I can check the stats. See if he's played in any of these 5 games. Those stats pop up, good. I can see. Somebody says, well, hey, coach, you've had a 6'1" quarterback before. You had this guy. No stats. Nothing is coming up. Okay. I go back here. I go back through that roster. I'm gonna go look. So that's one senior. I'm gonna write that down. Kid like Levi Manning, kids that are in my service. I'm gonna check it out. Also realize they got a 6'4" quarterback named Montana, who's a freshman. Went to Canyon Del Oro High School, graduated in 2021. Okay, clicking on stats. Stats seem not to be coming up. Uh, okay, so he didn't play. Another place for me to be able to find that out is I'll just go back to the schedule. I'll go back into the schedule. And as I go back into the schedule, there's something over here called the box score. So let me find out who the quarterback is on this team and who's actually playing. Because in this, not only is the box score, it's the stats. And you should be able to find by team. You should be able to find the name individual. So on the offensive side of the ball, Adam State, the quarterback, or is the kid Lincoln Labrum. So this is the quarterback. He is a graduated from high school in 2020, first team All-State 2017 and 19. So he is a redshirt freshman or he's a sophomore playing at quarterback. Okay. So I got to see actually individually who he is. Who are the wideouts? Here they are. Recruiting is homework. Sit down and find out which one of these guys are leaving. Is Elijah Harper a senior, or is he a guy that's going to be there? Freshman from Stockton, California. Okay, so he's a kid that's going to be there. So receiver-wise, we go back. How big is he? What do they recruit? How big is Elijah? Big guy, little guy, freshman. I don't know. So I got to figure that out. So just to kind of show you, here's some schools in the RMAC conference that are recruiting. They are recruiting high school athletes, right? Some of your other big time schools, you go back into the division2.com or D2 football, you go in here and you start looking. Some of these schools are schools you never heard of. Shadron State in Nebraska, Black Hills in South Dakota, Colorado State Pueblo, Fort Lewis, New Mexico Highlands. So that's just one of the leagues or conferences that we look at. This is all of the Division II schools. So there's a ton of different opportunities out of there. This school, Lenore Ryan, this school just had a kid go third round in the NFL draft last year. Lincoln Lions out of Pennsylvania. But you have to know that you are willing to leave California because we have no Division II programs. So when you say this and we talk about this, your student athlete has to have an idea that they don't mind leaving, right? I get a ton. Black Hill State is a beautiful school. I tagged you. I didn't know if you were listening there. But Black Hill State is a tremendous school, great schools that are in the Division II. But your kid has to know and have an idea that they want to leave and that they're mature enough to leave and go to a place that they have it. And if not, understand that junior college road, that if you take that junior college road, that is going to be a road that you need to really sit back and, again, go back and do a roster search. One of the junior college websites that you can look at is Southern California Junior College Football. I think it's Association. I think that's what it is. Let me find that website for you. And it's a great thing. California football. Yeah, it's association, and you can go on. Yeah, there it is. Southern California football is scfafootball.com. And again, you can go on here and you can check it out. You need to talk. You need to be deal with it, and you can look right here. You can tell I've been on it. Bakersfield College 4-1. Here's some of your top leagues. You can go into some of the other leagues. Mount Sac, El Camino, Riverside. You can click on. You can go in here and you can look at rankings, and then you can. No, that ranking thing is old. You can look at the teams. I'm sorry, and I think we're in the central or we're in the northern. And you just, if you're in Bakersfield, there it is. You can look at Bakersfield. Um, and then you can go and you can start looking at the rosters, and you can look at the rushing leaders and all of the, just all of the different things that they have in here to help you in the process of understanding who's on that roster. And right now, these guys are carrying as much, literally, a lot of these JCs are carrying, 100 kids. And so you really want to make sure, no D2 opportunities in California because there's no schools. So you can really make a valid choice. So I want to just, tell you guys that November 21st, let me do this for you guys. Okay. And I told Coach Casey Quinn that I would definitely do this. I want to make sure that people are doing they're not spinning their wheels and not doing things on the right stuff. Okay. I'm looking at a camp. We have a camp that's coming to Bakersfield, November 21st. And I've had a number of people who have called me and asked, should I go to this camp? Okay. And I'm trying to find the web. The website is collegefootballprospects.com. Okay. They write your kid. They're writing your kid at collegefootballprospects.com. Let me share this with you. Somebody share this with somebody else so they understand what this website, what these guys are able to do. So I'm going to share this with you. If you paid already, I will tell you right now, if there's a way to get your money back, get it back. Okay. Here's a showcase that's coming November 21st at Ridgeview High School. It is $185 per session, defensive session, kicking and all that, $285. Let me share this with you. Take a look at the schools. Pomona Pitzer, Laverne, McAllister College, and Texas Wesleyan. I understand. For free, you can send your information to those schools. These are all Division III schools. They do not offer athletic scholarships. So if you have the grades for a Pomona Pitzer, the Pomona or the Claremont colleges are looked at as the Ivy schools of the West Coast. If you are not a 3.8 guy, 3.5, you're not getting into that school and you're not getting any money. Okay? I would not pay, personally, I would not pay $200 or $185 for a camp that has Bakersfield College, Cerritos College, El Camino, and Long Beach College as a school featuring these schools there. Any of these coaches, if you went and talked to them for absolutely free, would take your film and tell you got a great opportunity to come play at either of those junior colleges. The value of this camp. They are not working with Ridgeview High School coaches. It'll be done on the practice field. It will not be done in the stadium. So if this is something that you're going to do, I would tell you, you need to make sure, that you understand that. He says high school playoff, risk-free refund policy if your team's still playing for a state championship when this event, well, it's the beginning of the playoffs. So it would be really tough to go. And I'm just giving you an idea. I'm not trying to kill any camp. I talked to the coach. He didn't even know it was being held on the school. He called. What got me, they sent this information to my son, Ian. And I'm like, at the end of the day, Texas Wesleyan, McAllister, you guys, great schools. I understand. Thank you. But I would give you $285 to go to a camp for a Division III school that I'm going to have to pay for anyway. So, and really, I'm not going to do it for junior colleges that any of your kids can go to those junior colleges and play. So please do not waste your finances on that particular camp. Okay, and that's just not me hating. That's me really helping you save some money. You got 4 junior colleges there. It just doesn't make sense. Okay, I would not attend that particular camp. Okay, not going to help you. And if you are, make sure you talk to one of the coaches to find out who is actually the coach that is going to come in November. And if you've had any dialogue with that coach prior to them coming, and that coach saying, hey, I'm going to be in your area. Are you coming to that camp? Now, what I know is if you say, coach, I'm not coming to that camp, but I'm going to be working out at XYZ Park, gym, facility, A3, wherever, that coach can come by that facility because they're not Division I schools and they don't fall under those rules. They can come see you for absolutely free if you are a kid that they want to recruit. So I would go into the DM if you got this same letter that has your name on it, and Tony McClain is the special teams coordinator and D-line coach. He wrote my son who plays running back. Maybe he's the coach that's going to be here. I would email him and ask him, would he come? I'm not going to be attending, but I will be working out over here. If you have time, you can come see me here because it's just not worth me showing up for that particular camp. Okay. So before I go, any questions, comments, I want to say to you, carecruits.com. We are actively looking for class of 2023, 24, 25 student athletes that want help with their recruiting, want to be a part of the service that is going to manage expectation and guide them through the recruiting process. We also will be doing our new Pro Way team. We'll be having an 8th grade team. We will be having a few high school teams this year. Spoke to Coach Derek Holmes on last night. Excited about that. We're going to have a new 8th grade team that's going to be going. So Chosen One, Central Valley, and then 2 high school teams that will be going into the 7-on-7 world this year coming up. We're going to be starting our workouts on Sundays. So if you're a defensive back, wide receiver, quarterback that needs to start doing some training, it is called our Recovery Sundays, just recovering, putting our mind back into that football mode after Friday night's games. As we get into league and get out to playoffs, we just kind of continue to still come throw the ball, come work on some technique. It'll be Sundays. It'll be Sundays starting here in the next 2 weeks as we get closer to the end of the season. And as we go into the month of December, we will have our Pro Way tryouts and we'll go from there. So again, if you're looking for a recruiting service to help you with the process that's more personal, not a CRM system, I am the system. I get on the phone, I call schools, email, and get your information out there, work with you on your social media, your marketing, your branding of who you are. Contact California Recruits. Send me an email at carecruits.com. Fill that out. It'll come to me, give you a call. We'll do a one-on-one and we'll get you going. If you're 22 and you're like trying to figure it out, you need to get a list going. I have a special going right now. If you have a teammate or somebody else that's in the same class, I have a 2-for-1 deal for you guys to be able to get going. I will tell you in the next month or so, and as what's going now, I have a ton of NAIA schools that are looking. If you are a Division III guy and you're looking, we need to get you going as well. You are a lineman, offensive lineman, D lineman, undersized, meaning 6'1", 6'2", and under, and you want to play at the next level. Don't want to go to junior college because you're still going to be an undersized guy, and you want to get your college career started. carecruits.com. Get me on there. I will help you with that process. These NAIA schools and these smaller schools are looking for guys, looking for D linemen, looking for guys at that 6'2", 6'3", undersized D linemen that want to continue to play. You understand. I'm not going to Notre Dame. I'm not going to UCLA. I'm not going to SC, but I want to play. I want to get some money for college. I want to help my parents pay for school. I'm telling you, give us a call. We will have a number of schools that are going to be looking. We had something like 13 guys at one time out at Bethel. We have a couple of guys at Bethany College in Kansas. Work with a lot of the Kansas schools. We're going to work with a number of schools in the Oregon and the Montana area, Eastern Oregon. Carroll College is another school that we're working with closely. Great coach from the West Coast, Wes Nurse, is the defensive coordinator at Carroll and is really looking down into, needs some speed guys, needs some defensive back guys, needs some guys that are going to be, really working, really looking to play at the next level and not get caught in the shuffle of. And I'll tell you, parents, in closing, a lot of times kids lose their desire to want to play when they don't get what they think they want to get. The biggest thing that I understand about that is that I've done this long enough that if we manage expectation, you've been playing this game since you were 6 or 7 years old, and you shouldn't give it up. There's money out there for you to be able to pay for school. So we want to be able to help you in that process. So that's something that we want to do. Again, contact me. I'm Dejon Jernigan. Any questions about recruiting right now? I will stay on for the next 3-4 minutes. You have a question about where your kid is, something you should be doing. Watch the dates, guys. It's October. A lot of the stuff that you guys are hearing, I know there's guys asking. I was watching guys say, hey, if you need recruiting help, it's great. If you're 23, you're a younger guy, and you think, oh, yeah, it's going to happen for me. The next class, I told you guys the last broadcast, the 2023 class is one of the most coveted recruiting classes. If your name is not floating in coaches' mouths and you're not talking to coaches in the DM as of September 1st of your junior year this year, and you're going to be a senior next year, you need to be doing some marketing and working with somebody to get your name out there. I'll tell you that right now. And if that's not happening, you cannot wait to the end of the season and think, oh, my 10-game film is going to do it. They are already talking to the guys that they like. It's already happening, okay? You're 22 that thinks, oh, yeah, you know what? The Oregon coach just started following me the other day. I had a good game. Just understand that process is totally different. If they come, they come. They don't, you need to make sure you have, fallback plans with other schools. Parents, if you're going to be visiting some schools here and going to some games, make sure you're going to visit schools right now. If it's not just, if you already know, hey, it's just a game I want to go see, cool. Make sure you're visiting schools that are visiting schools that you have a true opportunity to attend. Don't waste that weekend when you could have went over to Cal Poly, or maybe went over to a Sac State or to a Dixie State, or maybe got on a plane if you have the financial means to go see a game in Kansas when the weather's about to change, to say, if you go to school, this is what it's going to look like. That's the reality of it all. This is where it is. Some of those schools that I'm dealing with, in which, in the Kansas area, your kid is good. If he's, I got a kid, Hunter Raleigh, love him to death. Hunter loves being in Montana. He loves the weather when it happens. He loves the summers and being out there in the spring and being able to hunt and hang out with the guys that live in Montana that's on his team. If your kid is ready for that, then there's some opportunities, and they'll get a great degree, come back home, or live where they're going to live and work in the field that they're going to work in, and that becomes their reality. Start preaching the realistic part of what this is about, that only 1% of the 1% is going to go. You're not killing your kid's dream when you say, hey, you love this game. It's my thing that I tell kids all the time. You love this game, or you like this game. If you only like it, you won't play it anywhere. You love it, you'll go anywhere. One of my best friends played at University of South Dakota. He's from Washington, came to California, played at Pasadena City College. He lives in Vermilion, South Dakota. It's 10,000 people in Vermilion when school is in. When it's out, it's about 3,000. I call it Mayberry. I go, man, I don't know how you do it. But he owns a gas station, 3 businesses. He played at the local school. Everybody knows who he is. His wife, his kids, they live there. He loves it, has a great life. That's what he did. Mom still lives in the Seattle area. We still live in California. When I lived in Denver, I visited him. Haven't been back there. I've been there a few times, but that was his college life, and he loved it. Played in a dome, The nearest football team, he lived in South Dakota, was the Minnesota Vikings. There was nobody else around. Everybody filled the dome to go see the Coyotes play. So it's all in how you paint that picture, and you put that, you make the best of that, and you give God the glory for giving you an opportunity to play a sport you love and help your parents not pay for school is totally something that's up to you, you know. And there's a lot of guys now that are starting to understand, hey, I'm on this Power 5 level and all this other stuff. I just want to play. I just want to get my degree and play. I want to get it out of my system so I don't leave anything on the table and have a regret that I should have just went to this small school and played and got it out. Because then you don't want to be that 28-year-old dude out there playing semi-pro football, stomach hanging over your pants, still thinking you got it. Believe me, I know what that looks like. I did it. That was me, Dataquan, still playing, still trying to understand how to play. I tried it. I'm going to go out here and play. Got hit one time and asked myself, what am I doing? Get your butt out of here, right? So carecruits.com, check us out. You got any questions, go in my DM, call me. I did. Call me. I will definitely help you out. Help you out with some information. If you're on Twitter and you're watching, you can go into my mail, follow me, tag me. I will be setting up appointments between today, tomorrow, and Friday, and we can schedule a time for us to meet, have a PowerPoint presentation for you and your parents, and we'll go from there. Time is of the essence. Okay, so talk to you guys later. Thank you, Dave, and we'll get back with you.